success that you have gained today?
I think Chef Amrita, you can answer that better. You've been here as well, and actually, you have worked in so many different places, being a chef, that your experience should be better than mine. Because since the day I've come to this country, I've just been a chef. I haven't done anything else other than being a chef. And you have worked so many places. I know how it is. So
Yeah.
your experience must be much more, better for them to hear. But as I am talking today, I'll just talk about it. Honestly
Thank you.
speaking, it's 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 not that bad. I know everybody wants to come to London, US, Europe. Everybody wants to work here. But when you come here and then you suddenly realize that you are so far away, we all want to grow, and but then you suddenly get far from your friends, you are far from your family and things like that, and you suddenly start, after like I think 5 6 years, you start missing it. Because I can tell you one thing, Mumbai का ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, nothing like Mumbai. And if you have worked in Mumbai, you can survive anywhere in the world. I can guarantee you that after working I worked in Mumbai for 4 years of my career, or 5 years, but I was born in Mumbai. I did my hotel management from Mumbai. So, after so many years, I feel no other countries or no other big cities are that busy than in Mumbai. uh, every other country is slow paced. You go at your own speed and you can match their speed easily. And I'm sure, Chef Amrita, you must have realized that as well, that it's so much easier. It's so much easier. uh, I would say, rather than difficulties or anything, I would say there are few challenges where you have to deal with certain personalities which you do not match the wavelength with, or is difficult to work with, or you don't know what they're doing sometimes, and you think, what is going on over here around? But you learn in few
Yes.
months, or I think in sometimes you're going to come to know a person in half a month, in 2 weeks. It's so much easier. I think Indians are more complicated brains than any other, to
True,
be
Chef.
honest.
That's why I threw this question, as we all are Indians over here, and we have to deal with the emotional levels as well, along with the
Yeah.
professional ones. So I think many of the new budding chefs, they stuck somewhere due to this emotional challenges that they face. So I just wanted to enlighten the students that this also might happen with you all, and yes, but you need to carry on, as rightly said
Yeah.
by Chef Nikhil. Thank you very
Look,
much.
you're gonna have difficulties anywhere you go.
Yes,
It's not that, like in jitna Mumbai mein difficulties hai, I don't feel that there are more difficulties than Mumbai anywhere around. Like I said, the first thing, if you survive in Mumbai, you can survive in any part of the world. Simple as that. And like I I don't know. I can only say, guys, just don't think about, कि London ही जाना है, USA जाना है, इधर जाना है, उधर जाना है. I've seen so many good restaurants in Mumbai nowadays coming up, and those chefs are really doing well. Or even for the cocktails and mocktails, the bartenders, sommeliers. There are so many of them which are really good, and I think you don't have to just aim about going abroad and doing things. You can stay there and do it as well. किसी किसी को opportunity मिल जाता है. Like, we got opportunity and we are here. That's it. That's the only difference. Is nothing much.
thank you so much, Chef, for the great insights.
Pleasure.
Uh,
Pleasure.
any more questions coming up?
Yes, chef, I do.
Yes,
So,
Sakshi.
chef, first of all,
Hi,
good
Sakshi.
afternoon. Hello,
Good
chef.
afternoon.
So, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine too. So, chef, we have a question that how was your Michelin journey? Like, could you please explain us?
Sorry, I can't hear you. What is
Uh,
that?
okay, so I'll repeat. How was your Michelin journey?
So, Michelin Journey. Let me explain you their procedure. I think everybody should know this. Um, So the Michelin is a brand which is from France, which was started in France. And Michelin is actually a tire company, guys. Yes, you all are right. I'm sure a lot of people think about it. Yeah, Michelin to tires and Michelin to tire. Yes, it is a tire company. And they started off with a garage where they had a good, very good cafe, and it was recognized by a lot of French people, and that's where all this Michelin thing started years long ago. I don't even know when did it start, but that's how it works. So if any restaurant is getting Michelin recognized or a Michelin star, it starts from the team of reservations. They call up to check, do the reservations. They double check if the reservationist knows the menu of the restaurant, and if she knows about the food, she knows what the brand is about. They ask this kind of question before they do the booking, and that's where all it starts. If your reservationist doesn't know your brand, like I always said, restaurant ka jo samne ka facade hota hai, that's the most important thing. Then at the back, it starts from there. Then they come in. Before coming in, sometimes they double check. They call them up to check if the booking is still there. They check to see if somebody's picking up the call. If it's mentioned 6 o'clock, if somebody's still picking up the call till 6 o'clock. They come into the restaurant. They like to be greeted well. They like to be given the menus well. They like to be sat down well. They like the server to be very professional, and they start asking you, the server, a lot of questions. And they don't come up with a diary ki diary leke baith gaye or notes bana rahe. They are very smart inspectors. You would not even recognize that it's a Michelin inspector sitting in your restaurant. My inspector, when we had Farzi reviewed, he came on a Saturday evening shift at 8:30, which is a busiest shift of the week. So they came in, sat down. They all started asking the questions to the server. He was a proper English guy. And then I remember they started look, because we have a show kitchen in Farzi Cafe London. They started looking at. They started. He. There was two of them. He started coming on the pass to check what's going on at the back, if the kitchen was clean, whatever he could see, because it was a very. It's a very kitchen which you can have a conversation with the chefs. You can talk to the chefs, so something like that. Then they started talking to me, and luckily I was there that day. He went back, he ordered drinks, he went on the bar, he checked with the bar guys how they're making the cocktails. He spoke to them as well. Then he asked the questions to the waitress about so much food and how do they manage it and blah 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 blah. So after that, he had the food, he tasted the food, and while the waitress was serving the food, there were questions being asked to the waitress. They were checking they definitely do check the fold of napkin. I don't know what is it about with napkins and French people, but they definitely do check that. um, then they started calling us outside. Once their food was done, I was called on the table, and that's when they introduced that yes, we are Michelin inspectors. We came here and we want to give you the recognition of Michelin. That's when we found out that he's been there. He clicked the pictures, but the way he clicked the pictures, we didn't knew that he was clicking the pictures. He was just walking around and randomly clicking the pictures of the restaurant. They even check the toilets. They even check how is the if the toilets have been sanitized well, if they are clean. They, because in their Michelin recognition, they mention all these points as well. They look at the local area, how busy is the street, how busy is what is the type of guest we get in the restaurant, and what is our average spend. Because if you go on the Michelin guide, you will see all the restaurants will have the average spend as well. What's the best part about the restaurant and everything. Um, for a Michelin star, the process is equally the same, but the standards are a bit higher. They dig in too deep for Michelin star. Um, yes, it's not that difficult to get it, but it's not that easy as well to get it. So that's why I think when I spoke to Shri sir, I said consistency is the key. They come twice a year, and if the product is not consistent, if even your presentation has changed, but it has to look the spot on presentation, it needs to be clean plating, it needs to be really good food, tasteful food. And especially when you serve Indian food, it's all about flavors and well balanced flavor. Like, and also it should, every meal has to look the same. That's whole about Michelin. If it doesn't look the same, you lose it. If you lose the consistency, you lose it. Have I answered that, Sakshi?
Absolutely, sir. So, sir, I would like to disturb you more and ask you some more questions.
Go ahead.
So, what are the advantages and disadvantages of Michelin star?
So I'm sure you guys must have heard a lot of chefs are giving back the Michelin star.
Yes.
And the only reason that happens is it's too much sometimes to maintain it. It's too much of a headache. A chef cannot play around with the ingredients, or with the staff knowledge or anything the way he wants it. And that's the main reason chefs want to give it away. That's one disadvantage, that you cannot do everything the way you want it in your restaurant if you have that. The advantage, also there is one more disadvantage which we realize. When you have a Michelin, you need to maintain some kind of pricing to your restaurant. So even if your restaurant is priced well, I would say well, not heavy or not less, well, people would say, they will look at that Michelin sign on the door, because in India as well, you have the menus outside the restaurant, right? Yeah.
Yes.
In here as well, there are menus outside the restaurant. People will just see that sign and walk away from your restaurant. They even won't bother to come in.
Oh,
So that's a disadvantage as well to have a Michelin. They won't even look at your menu. They will only look at the sign. They will say, "Are bahut mehenga hai, jane de," and they'll just walk away. I've seen so many guests from the point we got that Michelin. We've seen guests walking away. Advantages: you're recognized. You are recognized as a brand. People know you. People want to work with you. You get loads and loads of CVs every day emailed to you for work. Yeah, you have a choice. Plus, first Michelin star is always given to the chef, so it stays with the chef. So if the chef leaves, the restaurant loses the Michelin star, so it stays with me. Why do you think itne demand mein kyun hai hum log? That's the reason. That's the reason, right? So yeah, that's the advantage. And I think the restaurant gets good recognition all over the country. There are 1,600 Michelin restaurants in UK.
how?
In London itself now, there are around 13 to 14 Indian restaurants which are Michelin recognized, and there are 5 restaurants which have got Michelin star, Indian restaurant, and we have managed to keep those stars.
How?
Yeah, so that's the advantage, because you can price yourself a level up. You can keep your standards where you want, and your guest is going to be that standard. Consistency, like I said, you need to be consistent always. Bina consistency ke kuch nahi hota hai. Tell me, in India now, you think, is there any consistent restaurant in today's day where you can go every time and say, yaar, ye to same taste hai or same
Hardly.
service hai?
Hardly.
Hardly. That's the point. That's the whole point of it. I'm telling you something, in London, it happens. And I can proudly say it, from last 2 years or 2.5 years, we have maintained that. Agar we serving even a paneer tikka with some garnish, that garnish will stay that way. Usko change koi kar nahi sakta. Uske haath kat jayenge. So it's something like that because nobody wants to take a chance. क्योंकि लोग है ना photos देख के आते हैं restaurant के. You will see lot of tourists and everything. They check on Instagram, they check on Google, और वो सब देख के आते हैं.
That's
So
true.
yeah,
Thank you so much, Chef, for answering my
pleasure,
Good
question.
afternoon,
pleasure.
sir. Can you hear
Good
me?
afternoon.
I'm Abhiyog Patil from third year student, and I would like to ask you one question. So, is there a common platform where
अभियोग
Michelin-
अभियोग अभियोग अभियोग
Yes,
अभियोग
sir.
भाई धीरे बात करना थोड़ा.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go slow. आराम से. We have got a lot of time. Don't worry. Go slow.
Yes, sir. So, I would like to ask you one question. So, is there a common platform where Michelin helps to connect all Michelin chefs and grow?
What do you mean has to connect?
Like, is there any something like you would say, like any group of Michelin stars, like they would work together?
Well, to be honest, if there is any, I don't know because मैं तो सिर्फ बॉम्बे का ग्रुप रखता हूँ भाई. I know all the chefs of Mumbai here, but I don't know many of them. No, to be honest, there is a group.
Yes.
There is a group which you can create by yourself. Michelin invites a lot of big Michelin star chefs, like 3 Michelin star chefs, 2 Michelin star chefs, because these chefs are being consistent from last 10, 12 years. Like one of the Gordon Ramsay, सब लोग Gordon Ramsay करते हैं.
Exactly.
He has retrieved his Michelin star for his restaurant from last 20 years, 2 decades.
I guess he has got 16 Michelin stars, right?
Sorry,
I guess he has got 16 Michelin stars till now.
that's around the world. He's got that many restaurants.
Oh,
But in his one restaurant, he has retrieved a Michelin star. That's 3 Michelin star from 2 decades.
oh God. So difficult to maintain.
तो उसको तो वो लोग गोदी में ही बिठाएंगे ना यार. You know what I mean?
Exactly, sir.
So that's it. The more people know you, more you are recognized, उतना ही तुम्हारा वैल्यू बढ़ता है. But वो कभी कभी किसी के सर में चले जाता है तो वो they cannot maintain it.
Yes,
Then
sir.
they lose it.
Yes, sir.
You need to be humble as well. You need to be smart enough as well, and you need to play around well. That's it.
Also, sir, I would like to ask you one more important question. As I'm a budding chef, so as a chef, what qualities you look for an intern from India to work abroad?
You are sorry. What did you say? You are what?
I'm a budding chef, sir. So, as a chef,
What is a budding
qual-
chef for you, Abhiyog?
Like I'm a college-going student, so I like to cook. So
Sorry,
I'm.
I can't hear you properly. Sorry, Abhiyog.
So
what
can
did
you
you
hear
say?
me now? So can you hear
Yeah.
me now? So like
Yeah.
I'm a college-going student. I like to love cooking. I'm great interested in culinary, and so for me, budding chef is like learning chef.
Okay, which year you are in?
I'm in third year, sir.
You are in 3rd year,
Yes, sir.
and you want to go abroad already.
No, sir.
अरे
Like,
सबर करो यार, सबर करो. सबका टाइम आएगा. सिरी सर, आपने इनको बोला नहीं सिरी सर कि take it easy guys, टाइम आएगा.
so as per you, what are the qualities you look forward?
So that they can prepare
Look,
themselves,
Yes, sir. Obviously, we need to prepare.
so the thing is, look, Abhiyog, what I look for you to work abroad is a lot of experience back home. A lot of good experience back home where you worked with good hotels, you've taken the experience well, you have grown in the right way. Because trust me on this, India में जो level से बढ़ते हैं ना, वैसे यहाँ पे नहीं होता. Here, कल को अगर किसी ने नौकरी छोड़ दिया, तुमको पोजीशन दे देंगे, बोलेंगे हेड शेफ बन जाओ. Do you have the experience to be a head chef? No, really. So that's what happens. You get your experience in India, you work well, you get the knowledge, because it's the most important thing which we get in India. And then you can apply for jobs with, abhi jaise UK has openings for Indian chefs. Very soon you're going to get tier 2 work permits opened up with, but only you need to have a sous chef experience of 3 years. अभी just because you have to come to UK, तुम नकली certificate लेके तो नहीं आओगे,
Not possible,
right?
sir. Will not work.
Exactly. So it will take you time, but that's what I look at. Consistency. You need to be very consistent every time. ऐसा नहीं कि यार आज काम करने का मूड नहीं है यार, आज नहीं बराबर देंगे. You come to work, you have the same calmness, you work same pace, you keep everything straight, and you will do a good service every time. That's what most of the people around world look at.
Thanks for insights, sir. We'll work on this.
Pleasure. Do. If you're a chef, remember
Yes,
this.
definitely, sir.
Because chefs have a very bad recognition about having a bad temper, right?
Exactly, sir.
Yes, sir.
Look at my face. Do I look to you like that? I'm
Doesn't
always
look.
funny. Doesn't matter how busy it is. I'm serving in one evening 300 customers, 300 guests in one evening. But you will never see me shouting in my kitchens. Never. I've got 5 restaurants now.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank you,
the
sir.
best, Abhiyo.
Thank you, sir.
I'll see you sometime in UK, definitely. If not in UK, somewhere else.
Yes, sir.
All the very best. All the very best to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
कंजों में सीखना बराबर से.
The millennials are very eager to, jump the race. So, Chef Nikhil, we have a lot of millennials on our hand. I'm sure you must be having them in UK too.
Yeah.
Chef, I have a very small question to you.
Go ahead.
The qualities you explained for working as an intern in abroad, does it also belongs to being a student in abroad? Because I'm wishing to be a student in abroad. So
Okay. Are you which year are you, Shakshi?
I'm in second year right now.
Sorry.
I'm in second year right now, Chef.
Oh, you are in second year. What kind of role you want to play in industry? Where you want to be service, reception?
Chef, as Avyog said, same chef. I'm to a
You want to be
budding
a chef?
Yes, chef.
Oh, that's nice, actually. Well, your uniform says you are good in reception, actually.
Thank you so much.
Look, interns nowadays, if you're on a student visa, I think Chef Amrita knows it as well. When you're on a student visa, it's really difficult to get a job in UK because you have got 20 hours or 40 hours. I don't know how many it is now, but I
40
think it's
hours.
20 hours. Yeah. So you can work for 20 hours, but I'm not very sure how much will you learn in those 20 hours, Sakshi.
Okay.
You will earn, yes, definitely you will earn good money, you can survive, you will but as an intern, I don't think you will learn anything. I would not recommend कि यहाँ पे intern बन के आओ. We had a lot of friends जो यहाँ पे student visa पे आए थे, लेकिन if you are coming as an intern, make sure you do that work which you have come for. तुम जिसके लिए आए हो वो करो. And make sure you focus on that. You study, try to get settled down, try to get a good job here, and then grow well, grow in a right way.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chef.
Pleasure.
So we have one more question from Asim.
Yeah.
Asim, are you there?
Yes, chef.
Yeah.
Hi, Asim.
Hi, chef. So I would like to ask, as you said that you're working, like you got experience in India and then you moved abroad. So what were the difficulties in adapting while you were making the change?
Only difficulty was I was missing home a lot, Asim. I was missing home a lot, and other than that, like I said, I would not call them difficulties, but they were challenges. And the challenges only where I was working around people who always knew less than me. I think because of my experience back home, I always knew more than them. So I was like, I've come to a wrong place where people above me don't know much That was my most challenging part. I had to adopt to their what I should say is their mentality of they do not want to. Some of them do not want to grow where they are stuck in a position where they are. They have no challenges in life, and when you look at them, you cannot look up to them. You could not learn much from them, and there were some people whom I think I learned a lot as well from. But for me, that was the only challenge. They would not let me come close to them a lot of times. Reason being is they were always scared. Because he's Asian or Indian, he will take all the knowledge and then he will leave. That's their major problem. That's why they don't try to teach us everything. So you need to be very good with your skills of making friends with them.
Right, chef.
Anything else, guys? I don't know. Have I answered your question, Wasim?
Yes, chef.
Okay, good.
Any more questions coming
Uh,
up?
yes,
Chef,
chef.
I have a question.
Yes, Vimarsh.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
Chef,
Vimarsh from
you,
earlier. Yes.
Chef, you were talking
Hi,
about
Vimarsh.
evolve. Hello, Chef. How are you?
Vimash,
Hello.
can you switch on your video also, please? Yeah, that's great.
Hello, Chef. How are you?
I'm good, Vimash. How are you?
I'm fine, Chef. So, Chef, I was talking about you were talking about evolving of the cuisine of a cuisine. So, did you
Sorry.
evolve the Indian cuisine?
Have you seen our have you seen my food, Vimash?
No, Chef.
Okay. So yes, we have evolved a little bit of Indian cuisine in the terms of trusting it and turning it with international standards, like making a ceviche or making a lamb shank, which is done the Italian way, and ossobuco style. So we have made veal shanks ossobuco. So that's evolving. You are introducing the Indian cuisine with another cuisine, but using the same things which they use. And now in Indian cuisine, a lot of times we don't use ingredients, we don't use wine, we don't use alcohol much in Indian cuisine.
Yes, Chef.
But we have started Indian flambe as well. We have done guridon troli as well. So
Oh,
that's
Indian
called
cuisine.
evolving. Yeah.
Yes, Chef. Thank you, Chef.
Is that okay? Pleasure.
Now we have Sakshi for another question.
Yes, chef. So, as we
Yeah,
know,
Sakshi.
in this COVID scenario, so
Yeah.
how, what are your tips to be so dedicated and enthusiastic for a for being a chef? So, any tips for us budding chefs?
um I think if situations like when such kind of situations, Shri sir, आप बहुत serious हो. Am I saying something wrong, Shri sir? I'm a bit scared still, sir, of you.
Arey, nahi,
Trust
nahi,
me.
nahi. Next question is I'm going to ask a question. It's been actually going around in my mind. So finish
Okay,
answering this
sir.
one, then the next question is mine.
Okay, क्योंकि आप serious हो जाते हो तो डर लगता है सर अभी भी.
अरे नहीं नहीं मैं बहुत बदल गया हूँ.
Chef, everyone relates to you.
अरे नहीं I've
Till date, Chef
slowed down a
Nikhil.
lot. Obviously, with age, it happens.
So Sakshi, the thing is, look, in COVID, I'm sure a lot of chefs have, lot of, not only chefs, a lot of people have lost their jobs. There are a lot of restaurants which are closed. There are a lot of businesses which are shut down. But during such times, people like, okay, let me just talk about myself in this scenario. People like us, the way we survived, we kept our spirits was, we did not give up. I was ready to work in being a Michelin recognized. I was ready to work in a shops as a butcher because I've worked in butchery for 3 years. I've done butchery job. तो कोई भी मेरे industry से related नौकरी का we were working, a lot of chefs or waiters or managers, they are working in superstores जैसे Tesco, Asda, and I don't know, M&S, Waitrose. We are working there on the counters. That's how we keep up our spirits. You cannot lose hope. Yeah, it's work. Like Amrita said, when she was here, she was working in Lily Whites, right, Amrita?
Yes, yes, chef.
Exactly. So, hope mat lose karo, yaar. You will work out something one day. I have got 4 projects lined up for consultancy, and I'm working on them. I've already got 2 restaurants which I have opened. I've got 4 more which I'm opening. There are 2 in Spain. So I've got so much of travel involved. So I keep planning my head कि यार how should I go ahead? ये नहीं सोचो यार कोविड नहीं है, नौकरी नहीं है, क्या करूं बैठ के कि बैठ गए एक जगह पे. No, you don't do that. You just keep doing something. You need to get your brains working all the time. All the time. You need to do something. I did for a week or 2 job as a butcher. I was not ashamed of myself. I even did charity work for free. I was cooking for charity for free. क्योंकि पैसा आता है जाता है, but if you lose hope in life, then you are gone. You go down. That's the biggest problem. Sakshi, is that all right for you?
Chef, you have answered my 2 questions at a very same time. So thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I had a question now. This
Siri
was not
sir.
planned. Now this it's a very simple question because that I also like cooking, so I do that probably on Sundays. When I get the time, I just do some.
What, sir? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
I like cooking, and this has been there for quite some time now.
I saw your food, sir.
Sometimes
fantastic.
I don't find ingredients, sometimes even locally, sometimes it's tough, like if I want a particular spice, a Bengali spice, which is probably you will get so easily, like the moodi masala, which is probably an ingredient when you make jhalmuri, which is a Bengali bel puri. So if you want to get that in Mumbai, it's very difficult. You can't get that. Even an ingredient like I'll tell you, which I got from Delhi in my last visit.
So I think your voice is cracking a lot.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Achha, okay. I'll just come a little closer. So even an ingredient like which you add, Chef Kapil, can you just help me? I just forgot the ingredient. You put that in it is that
Anardana.
Anardana. Yeah.
Anardana powder.
So you don't get that so easily in kirana shops. Like even we were also scouting
Sir,
for.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? हमारे यहाँ पे भर के पड़ा है वो. मैं आपको यूके से भेजता हूँ.
नहीं यहाँ पे तो I don't know where you get it, but it's sometimes hard, So the point I wanted to make is how does it happen in in your country, like you're into Indian cuisine, so how do you get access to the supply of ingredients, because which are very important, I mean, how do you get that? Do you have some?
Sir, that's a very good question. That's a very good question, and I'll tell you what, sir. Most of the ingredients which are been made in India, जो इंडिया में बनता है ना, वो इंडिया में इसके लिए नहीं मिलता है क्योंकि यहाँ पे आ जाता है.
Okay.
Because they get good value for it over in other countries outside India. वो लोग सब export कर देते हैं, sir. अभी जैसे इंडिया में my mom, when she comes here, a simple example, she takes saffron from here, she takes cinnamon, she takes elaichi from here, she takes all these garam masalas from here. Reason being is यहाँ की जो quality है, it's superb, it's outstanding, और इंडिया में पैसे दे के भी नहीं मिलता वो चीज, because सब यहाँ पे आ जाता है.
Very recently I went to Goa, and over there they were selling this cinnamon, dalchini, the Sri Lankan variety from Sri Lanka, and the quality was, I mean, way ahead of what you probably get locally, so that's what ingredients really matter, good quality ingredients, because ultimately the your dish, the outcome of the quality of your dish, what you're cooking, is a result of obviously the technique which you use, the way you cook it, and also I think most important is the ingredients also. So you can't undermine the importance of ingredients, and having a supply. I mean, it's a blessing to have, an ingredient supply, and at a price which is a happy price, where you can make some money, after you probably sell it, and where the customer sees it at value and then he finds it very, very delicious. I'll tell you one ingredient. I like South Indian food also, so they make something like a talpa katti biryani. It's basically Dindigul. It's a biryani from Dindigul area. Okay, so they use a very typical rice called as Siraga Samba rice. Okay, it's a Jeera Samba rice. We bolte hain usko.
It's a small rice.
Yeah, it's like this idli wala rice type, chota wala. But you get it here in the Madras shops here, expensive. But then I got to know about that, and also another ingredient which is called as long pepper. Long pepper, they call it Marathi mogu. Okay, now you don't get that ingredient here, Marathi mogu, because that's an important ingredient in the spice mix of that particular biryani. So I got lots of Marathi mogu from my last visit in Chennai. And I put it in the freezer. It doesn't go. So whenever I use it, I kind of use that. So interesting.
We don't have
one ingredient only out of that whole lot of ingredients. Which I feel really matters. You can't use probably the regular pepper. You need to use what is actually specified. So challenges are there. Chef ingredients.
Yeah.
Or have replacements? Okay, iski jagah pe we'll put that. What is available?
अभी सर challenges तो है, जैसे अभी यहाँ पे jackfruit का बहुत trend आया हुआ. Lot of chefs are using jackfruit nowadays around the globe.
I tried to make jackfruit biryani today for dinner. I got jackfruit yesterday.
Yeah. हाँ, लेकिन इंडियन शेफ्स ने जैकफ्रूट को 15-16 साल पहले यूज करके बना के रेस्टोरेंट्स में छोड़ दिया. And now today when we look at jackfruit and chefs using jackfruit, we think यार ये तो हमारे लिए कुछ भी नहीं है, लेकिन दुनिया भर में लोगों के लिए जैकफ्रूट है. अभी जैकफ्रूट की कमी हो गई है, जैकफ्रूट नहीं मिल रहा है अभी. नॉट इवन इन थाईलैंड, पहले थाईलैंड बैंकॉक से आता था, वो नहीं मिल रहा है. अभी तो टिन आ गए सर, जैकफ्रूट के कत्थल के टिन आ गए अभी. तो वी हैव टू सर्वाइव विद टिन्स नाउ, क्योंकि वो नहीं मिल रहा है जैकफ्रूट, बिकॉज बिग रेस्टोरेंट्स आर ऑर्डरिंग होल जैकफ्रूट. और वो आता कहाँ से? इंडिया से, जमाइका, थाईलैंड, बैंकॉक, मोस्ट ऑफ दिस प्लेसेस. तो उसका रिप्लेसमेंट तो हर जगह पे होता है सर. और अगर उसको रिप्लेसमेंट या उसका ऑल्टरनेटिव निकाल के अगर शेफ काम नहीं कर पाया तो किस बात का शेफ हुआ हो? वो भी होता है ना. सो या देयर इज ऑलवेज अ ऑल्टरनेटिव फॉर समथिंग. अभी आई मेक अ सी बास सिविचे, एंड मेरे को उसके लिए कोकम चाहिए था. अच्छा, because I wanted to make it out of kokum curry, raw seafood with kokum curry. और I've been looking for good kokum, लेकिन फाइनली ढूंढ के मेरे को मिल गया. इंडिया से सप्लाई हो गया, यहाँ पे आ गया, मिल गया मेरे को. So you always find an alternative.
Like you have something called as trifada. Chef was telling me it goes great with mackerel curry. Because especially oily fish. Surmai ke साथ बहुत अच्छा जाएगा. Kingfish,
mackerel. I'm half from Goa and Karnataka, right? So nobody can, trifle is one of our favorite dishes in the curries which grandmom used to make.
It really, the flavor really comes out, of the fish with that.
It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. जैसे ये Chinese लोग Szechuan pepper use करते हैं. It's similar to that.
You get that here. Szechuan pepper यहाँ मिलता है, chef?
हाँ, मिलता है सर इंडिया में.
Szechuan pepper.
Yes. Sir.
That I was looking at on recipe. I saw Szechuan. Where do I get this now? It really makes you nervous, when you don't have an ingredient, and then you really don't know how to make that happen. So it's very critical, to get those ingredients right, and have a supply. They should always. I think I've seen chefs, they keep going around, like a chef Vicky Ratnani. Okay, I see him going to the markets locally in the countries which he visits to find out, what is available here, and that really excites. He takes pictures with the ingredient. This is what I found.
That's it.
There's so much of variety which is available across the world. So every country, I think as a chef, and if you're probably a connoisseur of good food, you will love to see how your food is actually made. These ingredients. And you
no, definitely.
That is very critical, and I think that's very important. I think very good quality.
Yes.
Which to the budding chefs, that you should be very excited about ingredients, and the cost. how to treat it, how to store it, how to make it last longer, those kind of things,
Yeah.
you know.
Certainly,
So
chef.
ingredients is fine, and it's always good to have good ingredients. But when you're working in a restaurant, that's the main factor is a cost.
Cost,
अगर
yes.
वो तुम्हारे कॉस्ट प्राइस में नहीं बैठ रहा है तो उसको तुम बेचोगे कितने प्राइस में और हाउ यू गोना सेल इट इज द बिगेस्ट क्वेश्चन बिकॉज यू कैन नॉट मेक गेस्ट think यार आई एम ब्रिंगिंग दिस ingredient back home from India, that's why I'm charging for this dish so much. It's not
They
justified,
will not buy in.
so you need to be very careful. Yeah.
No, it's important. The costing is very important because how will you make money otherwise? And you need to know that which is the source from where I can get a quality ingredient. I think is he Chef Nikhil? Acha, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm there.
No, I thought you got disconnected. Okay. The screen changed, so I thought you got disconnected. So yeah, and I always tell these students, that they should go around in the market and find out the prices. They should be kind of. Whenever we ask them, whenever we should ask them, they should be very ready with, "Acha, this is the price of tomato right now. This is." They should know what is available in winter. What are the extra vegetables?
Definitely. Seasonal. Seasonal.
Ekdam seasonal. They should absolutely have that. And not just chefs, I would say hospitality professionals, be it probably an aspiring F&B guy, anybody who is interested in hospitality, they should be aware about, because food is so much a part of hospitality, without which I think you cannot create those experiences for guests. So he's staying in a room, but he needs food, good food. And how is that food going to come in with good ingredients, the pricing? So they should be able to come out with. So it's a continuous process, actually.
Continuous process. It's all interlinked, sir. Hospitality industry, it's all interlinked. सब कुछ एक ही इसमें link हो जाता है वो.
Like the second semester students are learning MIS. Now MIS, you have a module called as F&B management. Now in F&B management, it is very important to know the, what food costing is and how do you basically, what kind of software is used. It's to do with MIS, it's to do with software. So once you put everything in the software, automatically, you get the and you have a standard recipe in place. So automatically, you know the price, for one portion. So the moment the price changes, dynamically, even the end price changes, So those kind of things these guys are learning in second semester. And I'm sure the final year students must have already learned that probably when they were in the fourth semester.
Yeah, even here we now in the restaurants as well. अगर एक chicken tikka का ticket आ गया, तो वो system में से एक chicken tikka कम हो जाता है. So my system knows how many chicken tikka is left. So I don't need to always keep telling the front of house or the waiters or the managers कि इतना बच गया, उतना बच गया. And I think it's fair enough, especially during these times where happens. Restaurant में not available हो जाता है कोई चीज. So it's fine. But you need to know your costings right, I would say.
So that was all from my side. Over to Chef Kapil. I was doing so much of talking that Chef kept his camera off only.
No, actually, I was busy replying to few mails. Sorry, I had to do that. See, when two great people are talking, it's better to keep quiet and listen and learn, right? That's what my viewpoint is. And absolutely rightly said by Chef Nikhil that, yes, there are replacement for all the different ingredients you can replace and, you can try out new things. And that is how, fusion works. That is exactly what Chef Nikhil has said, that, the global trend is, to, blend flavors which complement each other and, are a hit on the palate of the customer. So that is what the trend is across the globe, to find a suitable replacement or to find a fusion that perfectly blends in. And is a hit on the palate, great hit on the palate. So it was great hearing you, Shirish sir. I know hearing about your food is like a lovely music to the ears.
Sometimes I feel
like been a chef.
Too much of spices also. If you probably add a lot of spices, it probably comes in the way of the inherent quality of the ingredient.
Definitely, sir.
So it's not correct also sometimes to put a lot of spices, to
a lot of spice.
it's not right. You just keep it simple, you know, and I think it will taste great. Something
Yeah,
there's so many,
keep your food simple.
you know, like I'll
Absolutely.
tell you this Maharashtrian dish. I think in one movie I saw, varan bhat toop, toop varan bhat. You know, simple. You probably have some rice like Indrani rice, flavorful, khushbu wala, and then you make a nice other varan, you know, varan wala, you know, without any tadka, nothing, and a good
Yeah.
quality danedar dahi, you know, khushbu wala.
सर वरण में जीरा का तड़का जाता है सर.
अच्छा जाता है क्या? अच्छा ठीक है, हम नहीं
वरण
डालते.
वरण I don't know how many of like अभी भी कोई वरण खाता है नहीं खाता आप खाते हो तो लेकिन
हम
वरण is one of my favorite from my mom and I still remember since the day जीरा का तड़का is a must soup में for वरण.
वो घी
Yes,
का
chef.
तड़का
It's a
डालेंगे.
definite thing.
अच्छा, that's a new learning actually.
घी के अंदर जीरा डालो फिर दाल डालो बस और थोड़ा हल्दी. Nothing else.
magic, yeah. वैसे ही खा सकते हैं. You don't need anything
Yeah.
else. You know, it's as simple as.
सर उसके अंदर भी हमने वैरायटी लाई है. वरण भात मैंने यहाँ पे किया था. You tried with the lotus root crisp, sir. You gonna enjoy it.
You get lotus roots here, yeah, मिलता है.
Yeah.
We
उसके
just did
crisp
lotus
बनाओ.
root today. We had a
Oh,
Kashmiri
that's
cuisine practical and we did Nadru Yakni Shorba for the students.
Okay.
अरे वाह.
That's nice. That's nice. But yes, you're right. किसी को चीज को ओवर फ्लेवर या ओवर मिर्ची डाला है करके मतलब नहीं है. Just keep it simple and nice. That's it. Fresh.
Fresh, yeah.
So,
Fresh is
just
again what
a
is very
quick
important.
question, sir, relating to the
Yeah.
evolution of food. So you just
Yeah.
talked about all those spices and evolution of food, and I would like to just ask a follow-up question. Are you able to
Yeah.
balance the
I can't see you.
Indian-
Sorry. Who's
Godwin.
that?
I'm Godwin.
Godwin, let me just. Okay. Yeah, Godwin, tell me.
Yeah. So, sir, my question is that are you able to balance the palate taste of the Indian clientele and the international clientele out there? Like, are the British people able to cope up with the spices and the taste of the Indian food?
To be honest, Godwin, like Shirish sir said the thing, if you keep your food too spicy, you lose the rest of the flavors. So over here, we make the food the way we are used to be eating back home. Zyada spicy koi ye nahi hai. It's not necessary that the food has to be more spicy or more oily. Yeah, I think we have managed, especially Indian restaurants in UK, have managed to meet the client's taste buds 85%, I would say. And there is always somebody who's going to be unhappy. You cannot keep everyone happy, Godwin. You cannot
Yes,
make everyone happy with your
Absolutely.
cooking. You will always have few critics, and I think those critics help you to grow. You need to think कि अगर कोई complain कर रहा है, if they don't like your food, why is the reason? Where am I falling back?
yes,
And
sir.
you can try it next time to make them happy.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I think most of the guests have a good taste bud nowadays,
Yes, sir.
and they are as well. You need to train your guest as well about your food. You need to go on each table when you especially new in market. You need to explain what it is, what's your brand, what's your trend of food, what's your style of cooking. You need to explain all of that as well, so your guest knows about your food. And slowly, steadily, they adapt as well. They come to know. Like I said, fresh cooking, simple cooking. Don't make it too spicy just because you're Indian. Nah, doesn't work. Don't make it too oily. Ya butter dal diya, ya cream dal diya. Don't do that. Just go with the flow. Keep it nice and fresh. That's it.
Yes, sir. And if there any changes need to be made, so is there any SSR for the Indian guest? Like, if you want any changes from their guest end of view, you can make that dish.
If any Indian guests come to the restaurant, if they want to eat extremely spicy food, I tell them you can go home and eat.
Yes, sir.
तो तुम रेस्टोरेंट क्यों आते हो फिर? टू ट्राई समथिंग न्यू, टू ट्राई समथिंग डिफरेंट. अगर तुम हर एक रेस्टोरेंट में जाके बोलोगे नहीं मेरे को समोसा ही खाना है, तो घर पे ही खा लो ना यार. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we do it. जैसे अगर किसी को less spicy chahiye, of course we do it. If somebody wants more spicy in curry, we do it. It's not that we don't do it, but not all the time we can meet the guest expectations, because we need to understand एक गेस्ट को खुश करने के चक्कर में 10 टेबल खराब हो सकते हैं, and that's the operational part of it. You need to consider that time. You need to be smart enough to know, even as a manager or as a chef, कि यार, can you take that request from the guest? Can the chefs do it, or will we be able to serve it that way? You need to think about all the facts. कभी कभी गलती से कुछ भी हो सकता है, तो अगर घाई में बनाया शेफ ने, अगर मिर्ची ज्यादा ही पड़ गई, then what? So it can happen, you know, it happens. So you need to be very careful what kind of request you take. But most of the times we don't, to be honest.
Yes.
It needs to be experience, not a home cooked food you eat in a restaurant and you pay for that. Nah. It's a journey. It's a journey which you need to, go around, enjoy your time, have good time. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys.
Sir,
Siri sir, और कुछ? और Kashaf Kapil, और कुछ?
No, I don't think any more questions coming from the student. I think you have guided them well, and they have learned a lot from you. Shirisa, anything you want to ask? Anything specific?
No, nothing. I've already what I really wanted to
And,
ask.
Bhuvan sir, आपने कुछ पूछा ही नहीं. You didn't say a word during the whole time.
No,
You
I
want to
was
ask me
hearing,
something?
I was hearing all that you said, and also that students kind of questions they have. Yeah, everyone has got very, very great aspirations, but as chef rightly said, sabka time aayega. Yeah. So you need to have a lot of patience.
Yes.
Demonstrate patience. Keep
Yes.
all the faculties open. Keep learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never know which knowledge or which skill, what you pick up from where, where you start using them. You need to connect those dots.
Definitely.
And when the opportunity comes, it will all start coming on the platter, and then you take it.
Yeah.
At the time you don't have to have a barrier.
Yeah.
So be confident, and then the world is yours.
Yeah, definitely. Don't lose hope. Keep working on it.
I think this one, we have one person, Sachin Pandey. Now, who's that Sachin Pandey? We don't have a student by Sachin Pandey. Maybe.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. Can I just speak? Hello.
Yeah, Sachin. Is that Sachin?
Hi, sir. I am an external. I am a
Just
guest
hold on,
on
please.
this.
Okay.
I am a guest. I got this advertisement on the LinkedIn yesterday, so wanted to join in just to get my knowledge upgrade about the Michelin starring. I have an issue with my video, or else I would have put it on. I have one
that's
question
fine,
for
Sachin.
Chef Nikhil. I really enjoyed the entire conversation, and it was really
Thank you.
fruitful for actually the young students of the college. I am also faculty now.
Yeah.
I've just joined Senior Lonavala. My question is for Chef Nikhil. With Michelin starring, as you have mentioned, the facts about it, restaurants in UK and the rating, etc., and the parameters.
Yeah.
What do you think as an Indian entrepreneur, where would we stand? Like what would be our limitations if we thought we have to be rated or we have to be awarded Michelin starring? Where would we fall short of? As the Indian entrepreneurship from the chef's perspective.
Sachin, the thing is, I think you're asking me about if Indians can get Michelin star in India.
Right.
Are you?
Like in the restaurants, how fair can we do, compared to like restaurants in UK or Japan? So, or what would be our limitation? Where would we fall
Michelin star? Yeah, Michelin star initially was only in Europe and the US. Then they went to Asia. They went to Thailand, Bangkok, and everywhere. And I'm sure they will be in India soon. But the problem in India is, if they decide to give Michelin star or Michelin plaque or Bib Gourmet, I think there are more restaurants then there are in world Michelin star in India. इंडिया में ज्यादा रेस्टोरेंट है पूरे वर्ल्ड से जिनको मिशलिन बिब गॉर्मे और मिशलिन प्लाक मिल सकता है. The only problem with Indian restaurants, I feel, in India is keeping the consistency in the food, जो नहीं हो रहा है. And I can hear it from it's not only me who is saying it. There are a lot of people who are going back to India. There are a lot of chefs who are traveling to India. They say, you go there 1 week, you get one kind of food. The second week, you get different kind of food. And that's the biggest problem in India, which will always pull us back from keeping that Michelin. We can get it. If they come to India, I'm sure we can get it. A lot of restaurants. But will we able to retain it is a question for me in India. That's where we lack, Sachin. The standards of service. आज एक दिन left से हो रहा है, दूसरे दिन right से हो रहा है. One day you pulling the plate, one day you doing the carving for the plate, next day you're not doing it. So all these things need to be consistently the same, or I think then it's not going to be any difficulty. Sachin, have I answered that?
Yes, absolutely. I think I understood that it is going to be very tough competition, and it wouldn't be possible for Indian market, to opt for it. I think that we should kind of avoid and just run a normal business and make profit out of it.
No, we can get it. Like I told you, we can get it. लेकिन क्या हम वो रख सकते हैं is a question.
Being consistent is what Chef Nikhil is trying to say. Being consistent.
Understood, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Right.
Pleasure.
Right. So great. We have some guests also with us who have joined, and their queries have been answered. Thank you, Chef Nikhil, for answering that question so very well.
Pleasure.
And Gagan, over to
Yes,
you.
Chef.
And
thank you, Chef. Chef Nikhil, now we have Sakshi. Would like to give you a vote of thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Gagan. And first of all, with the full webinar, I have got to know that anything consistency is the key to success. First of all, and the second thing, apna time aayega. Just wait for it.
Apna time aayega. Yep, definitely.
So, now, without a further ado, it was a very interesting. First of all, the webinar was completely interactive and interesting. But now we are at the end of this webinar. And now we have to give the vote of thanks and all. So first of all, thank you so much, Chef Nikhil, for giving us this, time from your busy schedule.
I'm not busy at all. Trust me. I told Siri sir as well. I'm not busy at all.
Okay, so that's great. Then we would again and again like to join with you for another webinars.
Yeah. Definitely.
Thank you so much. And then I would also like to thank Bhuvan sir and Shiri sir, as they have planned such a wonderful webinar for us. Chef Amrita and Chef Kapil, who actually assisted us, our panelists, our host, and also all the guests and students, which we could call as attendees, who have patiently listening to us and asking continuous question and being so interactive. So thank you so much, Chef, again.
Thank you very much.
Siri
sir, thank you very much, Siri sir.
Yeah,
आपको salute है sir.
Always a pleasure, and it was so nice of you to take out time, and especially so early in the morning, because I didn't realize.
उसी बहाने we woke up, sir. Here, उसी बहाने उठ गए जल्दी.
And nowadays, these kids, don't get up early also because of they don't have to go to school. So the normal time when they don't have school is about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. They get up. That's the trend. So really, I think I feel very happy that we could do this, and I think it was a great session.
Grateful, sir.
It was a great session. I think good learning, and I think I could see a lot of motivation happening across the batch of students. And I think things will change for them now. You have made a difference, and things will definitely change for them. And a lot of realization must have also happened, because when we say something, probably it may not be taken so seriously by them. But when you have experts like you coming in, contributing, then that makes a whole lot of difference. So and especially
Well, sir, you made us the experts, to be honest. You, Sani sir, you made us the experts. We wouldn't be where we are today without you guys. So yeah.
that will always be happening. And obviously students have changed over the years, and but then there are students who are good. I think you can see a lot of them, especially who didn't drop out of the session, in spite of, because normally the trend is that first half an hour you'll see the entire strength,
Yeah.
and after that you will see that drop off happening. But then I could see people are here till the last, and thank you so much for that. So I'll Sakshi add on to that, okay, to your vote of thanks. So thank you, Bhuvan sir, for being here. I feel very happy when I see you. When I'm not at my workplace today, and sometimes it is nice to. I feel especially when we are using a lot of internet, we need to decentralize ourselves. When we are doing a session like this, because if everybody is there and the internet of one place goes off, and everybody is there, then it kind of, it's a big problem. Then then the event will not happen. So it's a problem. So it's nice to probably be at different places and different internet services. So that's how I think the new normal. That's how we should be working.
Yeah, it's a new normal.
So that's all. I think we'll wind this, and and thank you once again, all the audience and the external audience also, for joining in. And first I thought, when you put this ball on in our court in terms of making us ask questions, we never had a lot of questions, actually, to be honest. So I was wondering, that this session is webinar is going to get over in 15 minutes now. I told Chef Kapil, I've built up some more questions, because I didn't need to. Then I think he quickly got the act going, and then we had a lot of questions. And now I think we have extended the time. It's way beyond the planned time. So it is that really speaks about that. The session was really, really engaging. And I think that's
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Thank you,
and you can connect with me anytime you want.
Thank you, Chef Amrita.
Thank you, Chef Kapil. Thank you, Chef Nikhil.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
It was great connecting with you.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Chef.
you. Pleasure.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you.